Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's time for us to delve into politics. It's all about the off-season election that will be conducted by INEC. Many questions have been asked. One day, 3 elections, Imo, Bayelsa, and of course, Kogi State is going to happen this year, November 11, right? Not making a mistake for some of these elections as a deadline for you or any party to bring out the agents of various political parties. But this time around, from what happened in the previous election, do you think INEC might about a leave or two to make sure that this off-season election is conducted without the hitches, the experience in the other elections? With me here in the studio, I have a prof, a political analyst, a lecturer from Uniben. Join me to welcome Professor Julius Iyase, one-time chairman of ASU Uniben chapter. Welcome to TMI. I appreciate you coming.
Good morning, Wisin, for all the accolades. Good morning, viewers.
All right, so very close to me. He was a one-time governorship candidate, right? And of course, an economist, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Uyigwe. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you for having me, Wilson.
All right.
And good morning to you viewers at home and at work.
Okay, let me start off with you, Prof. 3 elections to test the mettle of INEC. So many complaints were seen or gotten, emanated from previous election. Do you feel that INEC is well equipped right now to give us at least near free, fair and credible election in cause of this off-season election?
Macbeth, I've been tied to a stake I cannot fly.
Whoa.
INEC that is not independent. INEC from the foundation.
Well, they are independent. Don't forget the I. Independent Electoral Commission.
INEC that is not independent by the foregoing and all that. So that is why I'm putting that. So the issue is, we all know from the foundation of so many things that have happened in the past, how INEC is going to be able to conduct that election. Because you have an umpire that is not free. And so how will INEC, from what has happened, has there been any paradigm shift for us to now expect that we are time to shout Uhuru? So for me, it's still the mixed me. We are still going to be in there and all that. At the end of the day, my prefect in secondary school say you grumble and settle. At the end of the day, we all complain and we will all settle. What is it that they have brought to bear now, different from the last election they conducted, that will give us hope that this current one they are going to, in fact, for 3 elections, thank God, astrologicals have a funny date, that is not going to be September 11. This is November 11, as you have said, hopefully. And so, I've said on this platform before that I'm not Amos. So I'm not a prophet of doom, as it were, but putting everything together, you all know where we're going to.
All right, I'll come back to you, Prof. But the freedom of INEC is not in doubt. Independence, National Electoral Commission. So please, they're not tied to a stake. They are free. They're independent. They can conduct their election. Over now to you, sir. What do you feel about this?
Again, I thank you, Mr. Wilson, for having me. See, what we would expect is that INEC would take these forthcoming elections with all seriousness and consider it a redemption opportunity as their redemption hour for all the pains they took Nigerians through during the general elections about 6-7 months ago. It is sad when you hear INEC say that the next elections, these elections you have referred to, Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi, are going to be manually collated and transmitted. For heaven's sake, INEC received a budget and expended a budget of 301 billion naira to conduct the general elections, which was supposed to be an emancipatory election for us. One we all hoped for, as, like to use my brother's word, to be our Uhuru. You know, this was going to be the El Dorado. But we all came out of that general election extremely disappointed. We saw the spate of violence. We saw the threats. Then we saw the excuses. You have told us that there was a glitch in the transmission on that day. Though many of us do not believe that there was a glitch. Many experts have come out to say that there could not have been a glitch, given all that was done, all the preparation that was made. But let us assume, let us accept for a moment that there indeed was a glitch. What has stopped INEC 7 months later to fix a glitch that you and I all know that is something that can even be undertaken in a day?
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Banks rely on electronic transmission to be able to conduct their electronic transactions. Other institutions, private institutions, are doing the same and doing it so successfully and dependably. And many of them, I tell you, are not spending anything close to even 20, 30 billion naira.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Now, he raised a valid point, talking about glitches, talking about other institutions conducting their transaction via the internet, not close to that amount, but going manual. Another transmitting this result. I don't think is going to save Nigerians the heartache or headache of dragging this issue to court, talking about transmission of results, excuse me, talking about portals and the rest of them. This is like an on-the-spot assessment of the election, Prof.
We had a reason in this country for bringing in beavers. We had conducted elections in time past, and the flaws that inundated it was the reason why people thought of the beavers. And however, are we not moving with the world? Technology is advancing. People are moving ahead. Then are we now going to remain in the medievals? So why won't we embrace what the world is currently doing? If we can go to our ATM and collect cash, collect money and all that, there are banks now without staff, and yet you operate. Then how come that we cannot do election even in the comfort of our homes, and then have it have a sane environment and all that? How does it, how does manual by any way become better than a technology based thing and all that? So the issue is that INEC, let me tell you, apart from we're talking about glitch and all that, INEC is let me put it differently from the way I opened. INEC is a trailer without tire.
Oh, you just can't say that.
I'm telling you.
No, you just can't say that, Prof.
Let me explain why.
Please, you can't say INEC is like a trailer without tire.
Let me explain
why
am I saying so. In 2012, why the farmers slept, the quiver birds came and sowed tares, sowed weeds in his farm and all that. We all waited. We didn't know when the issue of expunging vital laws from our electoral laws were removed and all that. Why can you now have an INEC, for instance, that cannot verify somebody's conditions of entry? Let me not use the word certificate because it's highly abused. Do you understand? How can you now have an INEC You are an umpire. Somebody have indicated intention to want to conduct election or enter into an office. And there are supposed to be conditions for you to enter into that an office. But then here you are as INEC, as the umpire. You are not allowed to verify the conditions of entry the person has submitted to you. Then where are you? I'm a university teacher. Students come before us wanting to read a particular course in our university. And then there are conditions for entry. That is entry qualification, we call it. And then what you do first of all is you go behind. Whatever certificate and documents that have been submitted to you, you need to go behind because there is a condition. Otherwise, you are not qualified for that office. And then you are here, you are the umpire, you are not allowed, maybe by electoral laws.
But that's the law, you will not blame INEC.
Because it was taken away in 2012. Go back in time.
But the thing went through the House.
I beg your pardon.
It went through the House. It went through the periphery of all the laws governing elections in Nigeria.
Which
that was 2012.
Which House? For instance, okay, even you have heard in the last judgment that nobody from outside can say whether you are qualified or not, except you are a party member. When even in the church, if you are to get married, the pastor will call. Is there anybody here who does not want this marriage to go on? Speak now or forever remain quiet.
Not talking to the church members only.
Oh, no.
But to the world.
To the world.
All right.
Everybody. So where are we? Which kind of country is this?
Okay, I will come back to you, Prof. Calm down, Prof. Please watch your emotions, okay? Because right now, how about the pre-election matters and the rest of them, that should fall under that preview. But now, let me come to you, Honorable. The election timetable is out. Candidates, they are ready. INEC has given out the rules and regulations to conduct such elections. Do you think it's difficult for these candidates and the parties and the voters to go by these rules?
Of course. Look. There's no difficulty adhering to the rules, whatever rules there might be, except that the candidates just want clarity on the rules. And besides clarity, they want to have confidence that these rules will be fair to all. That's the very purpose of election. But when election is conducted in such a manner that it's not fair to all parties, then it becomes a selection process, which is what we are experiencing in Nigeria. We are experiencing a selection process by the few, for the few.
Well, it is an election process, not a selection process, Honorable. Let's be clear.
Excuse me, sir.
Let's be clear. It is an election process, not selection.
Democracy, in word, cannot be in actuality if the whole process that makes it a democracy are not there. You cannot call a democracy when the election is. I mean, the very most critical, the very most important part of democracy is free, fair, credible, and transparent election. And if you don't have that, then you have no local standing to even say you are practicing democracy.
All right.
If, like Americans say,
Yeah.
if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it must be a duck. If it looks like selection, it seems like selection,
Come on, Honorable,
and we are
calm
looking
down.
at it, it must be a selection.
Anyway,
excuse me, sir.
your uncle.
Excuse me, sir. Let me just quickly add this.
Yes.
You see, the very most disappointing experience Nigerians are made to suffer right now is that the government itself is complacent, because given all the hula baloo, given all the criticisms of the election that just took place, one would have expected that the government would set up a commission of inquiry into the process and conduct of the past election to say, look, people have criticized this. Why is it that we have gotten it wrong or we are not getting it right? That is what responsible organizations do.
All right.
And we have not experienced that. So that sense of complacence, it's mind-boggling and it is disappointing.
Okay.
And it's making the electorate lose confidence. I can tell you I can tell you this for free. Now, there are many candidates going into the election, believing that if they have enough resources to bribe the judges, or to bribe INEC, or to bribe officials, they will win. That is the mindset of election candidates.
Which is a wrong mindset.
It's a
wrong mindset.
It has to be proven
to
be wrong.
All right. Well, now, would it be smart or wiser for us to use previous experience in previous election to judge what INEC will do in this forthcoming election? Is it fair on our part?
Listen.
Because right now, they're not going to give us a better election. They're giving us the assurance that it's going to be better than what was conducted previously.
Listen, a professor was asked a question in The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, Nostradamus. The man answered by saying, he was asked a question, what do you think about the future? He said the future is a summation of decisions made in the past. So, how today is going to be, you have decided yesterday. Because you have called me, not this morning, to be here. That we have to be here at the studio today means that you have set this standard by yesterday. That is what we are saying. What is in the electoral law, what do we have there, what is going on and all that. Not coming to that very day. We should be good planners as a country. That is the only way to succeed. If we have not said anything today, take it home about the new definition of democracy in Nigeria. The selection by the few for the
election, Prof. Election, not selection, please. Election. Let's be guarded.
My great man here, I have gotten a new definition for democracy.
For our own type of democracy.
Okay. So let me put it. I'm happy now that I'm hearing that quite a number of professors are warming up. In the Edo question.
Yes.
You understand? I'm hoping at least let's have a knowledge-driven election or candidates and all that. So I'll be great to see many of them. Let them come out and because in 1999 we missed the track because many people were still doubting what the military was, what they were going to do and all of that. Okay. And so many now hawks took over. But now people are getting tired and all of that. And so many people are coming out of their cocoon. They will now want to take over the polity of this nation.
Aura would have gone through till 9 o'clock, but the signal from Abuja is so strong. We have some guests standing by in Abuja Network Center. So please, gentlemen, 30 seconds each. What advice do you have for INEC in the conduct of this election?
Let INEC fix the glitch that they have claimed they have so that they can restore confidence to the electorate. A lot of people do not want to go to vote again. It was Abraham Lincoln that said that you can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. We see a government so complacent, believing that they can fool all of us all the time, and we are saying no. And you know what? It is very shameful, it is very disappointing, it's very painful to see that the youths in the country are the one now insulting the adults for lack of performance.
Thank you. Not to worry. Believe that INEC will perform. 30 seconds, Prof. Quickly off to join the Abuja studio.
My take here is that those conducting the election, the officials in INEC should know that they are human beings.
All right.
Let them remember they have a name to protect. They have a generation, you understand, to maintain. Let them do that. Let them go out there. They must return beavers back. Technology, go according to technology.
Thank you.
And exercise a sense of shame.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, you've heard them. It's like they're doubting INEC's performance. But I believe that these officers in election, INEC will just prove many Nigerians wrong and prove themselves right by conducting free, fair, credible elections. Come on, let's give them a chance. It's just November here, and they're going to perform credibly.